When building high-rise hose packs, placement and uniformity of the hose straps is critical. This first clip will demonstrate the importance of this and how to adapt if a pack is built incorrectly during training or on a call.
So we have our full complement of 200 feet laid out here. As we talked about earlier, the two straps are on the male side. The male side is going to the fire. But as you can see, when you come to this pack, it's easily done. We've got two straps on the male side, one on the female. They both point towards the middle. However, we went from right to left instead of left to right. And so now it doesn't line up with the rest of the packs. This is something that's easily overcome simply by flipping it. And now you have the male pointing in the correct direction. However, your straps are underneath. It's not a game changer, but in the heat of the moment, this is probably going to be a career fire. This is one of those little things that you just don't want to deal with. You're already going to be fatigued from climbing stairs, and it's something that you don't want to have to deal with while you're up there getting ready to fight the fire. So overcome by flipping it. You just have to undo the Velcro from the bottom and make your connections just as you would.
The next clips will demonstrate how to build the packs correctly.
Alright, so now we're going to show how to build the non-nozzle section of the high-rise hose packs. So we've got our 2-inch hose. It's marked at 32 inches from the threads of the coupling. That's going to give us the right size folds to fit onto our bottle and not hit us in the calves as we're walking up the stairs. So the easiest way to do this is to roll the hose reverse, so starting with the female coupling. If we start this from a roll with this thicker jacket hose and newer hose, it's easier to get a tight fold if it's already rolled. So we'll start with 2 firefighters is the best way to do this. So I've got Kevin with me. We'll have one starting at the male coupling, and then Kevin will stay at that end, and we'll show you how to do this. This is basically a Minuteman load that's folded into a horseshoe, and just like I said, built at the 32-inch mark, so we do it a little bit different than our pre-connect. So we'll start our folds here at this mark. We'll bring them down just short of the shank of this coupling. We want this to be able to swivel a little bit. We'll just go back and forth. You can alternate these folds a little bit, shorter and longer. Alright, so as you can see, we just went back and forth with the folds. When we're done doing that, we want to make sure that our couplings are on opposite sides. So we want the female on one side, male on the other. We just split them apart to check that. Make sure the female coupling is down at this end, because when we complete it, these are going to connect at the bottom. So we're good at the length of our folds. Now we're going to strap these. So we'll rotate this up so the male side is on top. And this is our system for strapping them. So to make sure that these are oriented the right way, so that the tabs are facing in towards the middle of the pack, I'm going to apply the straps. We keep one firefighter that applies the straps each time. That's going to be the firefighter at the male coupling. I start with the buckle in my left hand and the Velcro side down, and I'll just go from left to right.
And if I keep this nice and compact for him, it makes for a cleaner bundle.
And just pull that tight, and then up and over. So the male side is always going to have the 2 straps indicating that the male will go towards the fire, so we'll know which way to orient our pack in the hallway once we get up there. So the second one will go up near the bend of the horseshoe, but not at the bend. We want it before that to clearly identify this male side. So again, buckle down, or buckle left to right, Velcro down, with the buckle near the bottom of the folds. Pull that tight up and over. Now I'm going to connect these, and we want to get just a few swivels on there for that to hold. We don't want to spin that tight and have to deal with that once we're up on whatever floor we're setting up on. So that's good. We're going to do the J Clausen flip right now, which is just up and over. So my orientation has not changed. I'm still going to be applying the straps on the female side. The only difference is that I'll be starting at this end now, and we've only got one strap for the female side. And that's how your finished pack will look. Alright, so now we're going to build our nozzle section. It's basically the same principle. Obviously we have our 1.125" tip on. The difference is we'll have to take into account the length of this nozzle from our 32-inch mark. So we're not going to start our fold of the nozzle section at the 32-inch mark, because that would just be too long on our pack. We have to take out the length of this nozzle. So the easiest way to do that is just to take your nozzle, bend it back up against the fold of your hose, and then just mark that point at the end of the tip. Bring it back down, and this is where we'll start our fold. So we're going to build it the same way. I like to rotate the bail of this nozzle up so that it's not in the way as we're doing these folds. And we'll bring these folds just past the tip of the nozzle to protect that in our pack.
And when building both of these packs, it doesn't matter which side you start on. What matters is how you finish. That your male and your female end are on opposite sides of the bundle.
All right. And so again, to check that, we'll just spread that apart. We've got our nozzle male end on this side, females on this side. So we can go ahead and strap it like this. We're going to do the same thing and rotate this up so that the male side's on top. It's a little harder with the nozzle now. And one thing we'll have to do is rotate our strap a little bit with the buckle up further to take in the width of that nozzle, instead of leaving our buckle at the bottom of the folds like we do on the non-nozzle section. So again, left to right with the buckle, Velcro down. I'm going to incorporate the nozzle and all the folds. I'll just rotate that up and then up and over. And now it's just like the non-nozzle section. So left to right, Velcro down, buckle at the bottom. We'll do the Clausen flip. And our last strap on the female side towards the end here. And that's the nozzle section.
So it may seem like with these instructions we're sticklers on some of this stuff, but it's important that you hit the finer details, because on this one, even if you get off by an inch from your initial 32-inch fold, it compounds itself as you build that pack, and you end up with a long tail one side or the other, or it may be shorter. It's not something that we can't easily overcome though. So all you need to do to mitigate this problem is rotate this back around the horseshoe until you have your proper length to make your connection. And then you can take that excess and tuck that flap into the fold, and then continue your bundle just as we have demonstrated with the other packs.